Mr. Chan, what time shall we start?
Your mic is still muted, I think.
Oh, is it?
I can't really hear you. Just now I could hear you. Now I cannot hear you already. Actually, you can start anytime lah. I don't think Bernie can make it because she has something on. You can
It's
start
okay.
your briefing.
Wait, let me check. Can you hear me? Yeah. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Pek Lan. I'm from marketing department. Together with me,
Can't hear you.
hospital and surgical insurance that cover under the seminary theology in Malaysia. Okay, before we start, we go into the policy coverage. All the while, we do issue physical medical cards to all of you, but with effect from 1st July 2024, we no longer issue physical medical card and it will replace by e-medical cards. So from where you can get the e-medical cards, you have to download the apps from either Google Play or App Store. Okay, you go to the Google Play or App Store, look for My Sompo apps. Okay, you download, complete the sign up and the OTP. When you sign up, you have to key in your name as per your IC. Then, of course, you also have to key in your IC as this is one of the steps. Then after you successfully log in, you should be able to see your e-medical card when you click on
Miss Tan, we cannot hear anything.
Okay, now can you hear?
Yes, but then for
Yes.
the last few minutes, we didn't hear anything that you were speaking.
Because my here, yeah, because just now my here, I think the line got problem. It just come out, keep running, say that it's connecting to the Zoom. So I hope now
see.
is now I think now is okay.
Okay, now
Okay, can you
we
see
can,
the
I
slide?
can hear you.
Can you see the slide? Can you see the slide as well? At any time you can't hear me, you just stop
Okay.
me. Because my
Okay.
here I will just keep talking. So
Oh,
can you see the slide right now? Can you see the slide?
no, there's no slides.
Let me test again. Can you? Can you see the slide right now?
No, I don't see any slides.
How come? Can you? Can see the slide right now?
Yes, now yes.
Can I? Do
Yeah.
you want me to repeat again the e-medical card? How to download the e-medical card? Do you need me to repeat that?
Maybe you could, because just now I'm not sure whether some of them maybe they didn't hear.
Okay, no problem. Okay,
Thank
let's
you.
start again. Sorry. Okay, as I just now mentioned, we effect from 1st July 2024, we actually no longer issue a physical medical card. So it will replace by e-medical card. From where you can get the e-medical cards, then you have to download the apps from either Google Play or App Store. Look for My Sompo apps, download the apps, and complete the sign up. When you sign up, of course, you have to key in the name as per your IC. Remember, even the space, BT or BINT, all will affected. The name as per IC, then once you complete the sign up, you should be able to see your e-medical cards. If let's say so happen you can't see the medical cards, don't worry. Just double check with the policy, the name which is appear in the policy. If you feel that there is some typo error or whatever, please inform us. We can rectify it via the endorsement. Then you just re-key in again. You should be able to see the e-medical cards. Okay. Okay, today we are going to cover age limit, coverage, panel of private hospitals, admission process, reimbursement claim procedure, salient features, and some exclusion of the policy. Okay, let's go through the age limit. Okay, this policy will cover insured before age 60 years old. As long as you before age 60 years old, we will accept you without the PhD form and the renewal age up to the 70 years old. So if so happen, one of your employees above a 60 years old, we will consider to accept it subject to they complete the PhD form. So underwriter will go through the PhD form and underwrite depends on the health condition. Once we accept it, the renewal age still up to the 70 years old. Okay, so for their dependent children, we will cover start from 30 days and the age up to 19 years old and or up to 23 years old if they are full-time students. So coverage. This is your schedule of benefit. All of you is under the plan 120. Means that if you admitted to the hospital, the room and board that you entitled is up to $120 per day. Okay, intensive care is also as charged. Overall limit for your policy is up to the 50K. You look at the last column, overall annual limit per person is a 50K. Okay, so hospital service and supplier, which is referred to medicine, or maybe you need to do some x-ray, all this. This one is as charged. Operating theater, when you need to go through some operation. So of course, the hospital side, they will need to book the operating room. So this one will cover under the operating theater as charged. Surgical fees. Okay, anesthetic, of course, before they perform for any operation, you need the anesthetic. So this one is also as charged. In hospital physician visit, this one will be 1 day, 2 times. Okay, up to 120 days. We cover the ambulance fees as well, but this one is only payable if the patient eventually admitted to the hospital. Okay. So if let's say there's emergency accidental, this one is talking about there is some accident happen. So let's say you accidentally fall down, then you need some outpatient treatment, then you can go to either the hospital or the 24 hours or any clinics. Okay, but this one you need to seek within 24 hours after the accident happened. Okay, then the follow-up will be up to the 31 days. Emergency accidental dental treatment also covered. This one is referred to you, maybe you accidentally fall down, you hit your natural teeth, which is maybe half broken. Yeah, of course, you need to go to plug it out. Then this one will be covered. Then follow-up for the emergency accidental dental is also extras. Emergency sickness treatment, this one is up to the 100 ringgit. This one you can refer to maybe you have food poisoning in the midnight, then you need to go to the emergency. You need to go to the hospital for the emergency side or the clinic. I will cover this one in details later. Then when you go for the surgical or your admission to the hospital, when you want to claim, we also need a medical report. The medical report fee is up to $80. Okay. Then pre-hospital diagnosis test. This one is after you do the diagnosis test, you have to admit to the hospital within the 31 days. Otherwise, this one won't be claimable. I mean, it won't be claimable. So this one will refer to like, you need to do some X-ray, biopsy tests, all this, okay? Then maybe sometimes you see the GP, then they maybe tell you that, Mr. Who and Who, you are suffer from any disease, then maybe you want to seek the second opinion from the specialist. So this one also will be covered, but we only cover for the consultation fees only. Okay. Then post-hospital physician treatment. This one is 31 days after you discharge from the hospital. Annual outpatient cancer treatment, this one is also extras, but this one we only cover for radiology or the, we only cover for the radiotherapy. Okay. Excluding all the examination tests or the consultation fees. Okay. And also we don't cover the drugs that bring back home. For the annual outpatient kidney dialysis, is also same. You can seek the dialysis treatment from any registered with Malaysia dialysis center. Okay. Then for the registration fees, like the medical record, all this one is also extras basis. If you admitted to the daily cash, if you admitted to the government hospital, then we will pay the daily cash allowance up to 120 days. 1 day is 60 ringgit. Okay. And then for the home nursing care, is up to 30 days. This one is a 60 ringgit per day. This one is for those, let's say the patient is confirmed bedridden, is totally unable. This one, then you can claim under this, but you must engage with a government nurse. Okay. For the funeral expenses, this one cover for all costs, 5,000. To claim this, you have to submit to us a death certificate. Okay. Then for the daycare surgery, this one is also extras. This one, example that you can do for the cataract, which is no need admission. And this one then will be under the extras. Will be under the daycare. It's also extras. So overall limit for the benefit, for all the above benefit, it can maximum is 50,000. Okay. Okay, this will be our panel private hospital list, which is you actually can get it from our corporate website. You go to www.berjayasompo.com.my, you're able to see our panel hospital listing throughout the whole Malaysia. Okay, now let's go through admission process. The
Miss Tan, we can't hear you again.
Because sometimes maybe you forgot about your benefit. So you can give them a call. Then we can tell, my internet unstable. Is it, can you hear me right now?
Yes, now can.
Now can Okay, for the admission process, you can call 1-800-889-866, or the number actually you can see in the e-medical card to inquiry your medical benefit and coverage, just in case that you forget about your entitlement or this. Just give them your IC number. They actually able to verify for you. Okay, and this is 24 hours toll-free services. You also can inquire the panel listing from them as well. Maybe sometimes there are too many hospitals, you can't remember which one is under our panel. So just give them a call. They can able to help. Okay. So members have, for the admission, member have to present the medical card or the IC to the hospital admission department. Okay, then the doctor, they can fill up the admission claim form and submit the relevant document to MyCare. So MyCare is our TPA, is our third-party administrator, so they will help to handle all this. They will verify the coverage and then issue the GL within the 60 minutes to the hospital if the medical condition and the treatment coverage is within the policy condition. Okay, by the time discharged, let's say doctor say, Mr. A and A, you can discharge today. So normally what the doctor do? They will continue to visit the wards. Okay, after they visit the wards, the doctor only will return to his clinic and then complete the discharge process for the patient, including maybe fill up the medical report or this. Okay. Then only the doctor will pass all the relevant documents to the billing department. Then the billing official had to compile all the expenses from the different departments, maybe from the pharmacy, radiology, labs, and they combine everything. Then only they will email all the documents to the MyCare. Okay, so all these are only by the time doctor tell you that you can discharge, until the doctor complete all the relevant document, it will take about 1-2 hours. It depends the doctor's schedule as well. Then by the time from the medical billing department, email all the relevant document to the MyCare, it will take another 1 and 2 hours. Okay, so once the MyCare receive all the relevant document, they will process all the bill and see that which one is covered and which one is not covered. Okay, then they will email or fax a final GL and the access letter to the hospital within the 60 minutes. Okay, so this one is for the admission process. If let's say there's any post-hospitalization treatment, then it will be on the file and claim basis. Some may be wonder, this one is, if let's say I have a GL, why I still need to pay the deposit? But this one, you still have to, normally deposit request from the hospital is about 300 to 500. Okay, this one is to cover excluded item under the company policy. Okay. So how about admission to the government hospital? If you admission to the government hospital and you hope that there's a GL issue, members also can call to the MyCare directly. Then you provide your name, IC, name of the hospital, what is the diagnosis, and then email address that MyCare can contact, so that by the time the GL is issued, they can email to them. For the government hospital, the GL is only valid if the bill is above 50 ringgit and above. Okay. Okay, this one is just now I do mention. Most of the hospital, they actually will require deposit before the admission, and the range is about 300 to 500. So eventually, there is no non-payable charges or whatever. This one, they will refund to you. This one is talking of, we refer to the reimbursement, means that sometimes members might go to the non-panel hospital, then this claim will be under reimbursement, means that you have to file and claim. Okay. Like just now I mentioned, you go to the non-panel hospital, or because of the emergency accidental outpatient, like just now I say you maybe fall down, then you need to go to the clinic or the hospital for the emergency treatment. So this one will be filed and claimed. Okay, so when you want to file and claim, remember, get the original receipt from the either clinic or the hospital side. Daily cash allowance at the government hospital, this one is also file and claim. Annual outpatient, and talking about the radiotherapy or the kidney dialysis treatment. This one all also have to be file and claim. Funeral expenses. Okay. What kind of document mandatory if let's say you go for the reimbursed basis? Our claim form, you can get our claim form actually from our website, or you can get it from our agent, or you can email to me. Okay, what we need is we need the original bill and the receipts. We need the itemized bill, copy of the diagnosis report if there's any. And if let's say you are admitted to the government hospital, remember and request discharge summary. Normally the discharge department said they will give you. Okay. Then of course, if let's say you want to claim for the funeral expenses, then the death certificate is a compulsory. Okay. Submit all the original documents to the BSIB claim department. Then if let's say everything we have verified and complete, the payment will be credited to the member's account within the 14 days. Okay, now let's talk about salient features of the policy. 30 days waiting period. This one is not applied if they say there is accident. Okay, otherwise all the members, the moment that we include you in the policy, the first 30 days is not claimable. Example, today is 9th of August. Let's say 1 week later, the member is suffered from the dengue or whatever, admitted to the hospital. Sorry, it won't be claimable because 9th of August, this is the first time that we enroll the members. Maybe we include the members in the policy. So, okay. "12 months pre-existing illness." Pre-existing illness, we are referring to those disability or the illness that already exists before we include members in the policy. Example, maybe talking about high blood, diabetes. Okay, these all first 12 months, it won't be claimable. After the 12 months, policy will start to cover. "120 days specified illness." This is an illness that we don't cover for the first 120 days. Talking about the hypertension, all the tumors, all the ear and nose, including the sinus. Okay. Upgrade room and bed co-payment. Just now I'm sharing your entitlement for room and board is 120. Okay. So if let's say the member choose to stay in a room and board the 150 example, so it's still claimable, but the member have to bear the 20% of all the eligible benefits. Okay, so always choose a room and board that as per your policy entitlement. Okay, just now we're talking about emergency sickness treatment, which is the up to 100 ringgit. Okay, so this one, maybe an example, like just now I use an example like maybe food poisoning. Okay, so this one is only claimable if the member seek treatment as an outpatient between 12 o'clock midnight until 6 o'clock in the morning. Of course, nowadays, a lot of nowadays, normally those invoice is computer printed, which is they can show the time that you seek for treatment. Okay, if so happen you go to the clinic that they don't have a computer printed receipt or whatever, they use a handwritten. So please ask them to write down the time. Okay. From anywhere else except the member is from Philippines. If let's say so happen you go back to the Philippines, there's something the emergency you had. Wait. So can you hear? Okay, example. Today the member is from the Philippines. So maybe he go back to his hometown, then so happens something emergency happen, he admitted to the hospital. That one, it won't be covered. Okay. But if let's say this Filipino, he go for business trip, let's say in Japan, then something happen is due to the emergency or whatever, then it will be covered, provided they stay in Japan not more than 90 days. Of course, whatever treatment they seek in Japan, this one will be under far and claim basis. For any employees that maybe a company will send them, not for the business trip, maybe we'll say that, hey, Mr. Who and Who, now you have to base in, let's say in Japan from now onwards or whatever. Let us know earlier. They have to declare to us earlier because we might want to have a different terms on that. So now we are talking about the policy exclusion. We don't cover any treatment that is not required. Example, let's say you admitted due to the hybrid or whatever, then doctor go and test the pregnancy, example. So it won't be covered because this one is nothing related with your diagnosis. Okay. Policy also won't cover if there's any plastic surgery. Okay, any related with the mental and nervous disorder. Dental condition, including the oral surgery, except for accidental injury that just now I said. Injury to the sound natural teeth. Okay. Any treatment operative for the congenital. This one is talking about those that already exist at birth or before birth. Okay. Pregnancy and the childbirth related complication, all this one also under the policy exclusion. Hospitalization purely for the investigation purpose. Example, the member feel they're very uneasy in the stomach or whatever, so they might go for the CT scan or whatever related test. So eventually the result show that it's normal, nothing, then the whole expenses, it won't be covered because for us that the admission is purely for the investigation purpose. Of course, policy also won't cover if they say for preventive treatment. Let's say sometimes the doctor will give you the medicine, is not directly to your diagnosis, it's more on the prevention purpose. So the medicine will be excluded. Those expenses that non-medical nature related, such as a television, telephone, telex service, all this, or the welcome gift, admission kit, all this one is under non-medical item, will be under the policy exclusion as well. Okay, sickness or injury arising from any kind or hazardous sports, okay, such as a skydiving, water skiing, underwater activities. All these or any illegal winter sport, professional sport, illegal activity, all these also under the policy exclusion. Suicide, private flying, also under the policy exclusion. War or anything related with contamination by radioactivity. Expenditure incurred for donation of any body organ. Expenses for the sex changes. Investigation or the treatment for the sleep and snoring disorder or the hormone replacement therapy. All these will be under the policy exclusion. Okay, some important notice to all the members is like always inquire the estimated cost of surgery from the hospital. Then you choose the hospital for the admission. Know your entitlement or the balance of the coverage, because sometimes like maybe you already admitted for the dengue. So maybe let's say they already claimed for the 10K. So your balance actually should be this 40K like that, okay? So like just now I highlight welcome gift, laundry, telephone calls, all these non-medical related items all are not covered. Okay, that's it. Any question?
Hi, I would like to ask you something. Let's say I have been given a referral letter by a clinic who diagnosed me about my muscle issues that can be only treated in hospital. So when I bring the referral letter, let's say the doctor doesn't immediately admit me, but he will assess me first, assess me what is my actual issue. Then when he come up with a diagnosis which is not required for me to be admitted, but only be treated as an outpatient. So will that process covered by the insurance, or I have to fork out my own money?
Hi, Ms. Tan. Maybe I can take this question. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear.
Okay. I'm Christina from Berjaya Sompo Health Underwriting. So maybe I answer for this question. Because the policy we cover is an inpatient plan. Inpatient plan, basically the requirement is there is a necessary to admit to a hospital. But however, let's say for your case, what you already highlighted is you have a referral letter. But however, when you visit the specialist, there is no requirement to admit to a hospital. Maybe because the doctor will prefer maybe to take some medication first to try first round, see whether can easily solve your problem. So this is quite common. So in that case, if subsequent there is no admission to the hospital, then in that case, we are unable to cover because this is a in-hospital plan. So what if after the first round, maybe after 1 week the medication, so there is some complications. So which means that you must be admitted. Maybe subsequent there is inpatient required for operations. So in that case, yeah, you can admit, then in that case, you can admit to a hospital, and then your admission will be covered subject to the just now the condition, like if it's not pre-existing, it's not waiting period of specified illness. So, and then the pre-hospital, when you visit the specialist, so that might be considered, we can deliver under the pre-hospital specialist consultation, and also the diagnostic test. This is provided the admission is covered. So is that clear for you?
Yeah, thank you.
So please take note that this plan is an inpatient plan. But what if some cases are just sharing with all of you? So if you go to visit a specialist and then the specialist just advise that your condition is not necessary to admit to a hospital. So please do not request the doctor to admit you. Because there is one case that we do happen is we reject the claims because the doctor indicate in the medical report saying that the patient is request to admit to the hospital. So in a point of view from the doctor, actually this patient is not required to admit, but the patient asked for it. So in that case, the whole admission is not covered because it's not necessary. But provided if the admission is necessary, then we will cover. So subject to the policy terms condition. Is there any other questions?
Yeah, another one is, let's say I get admitted and there's require for the doctor to do MRI on me. Because just now I saw that MRI is under exclusion policy. Correct me if I'm wrong. Once I get admitted and the treatment is ongoing, but at a certain point, the doctor asked me to get an MRI. So will that MRI come under the insurance or I have to fork out my own money?
Actually, you don't misunderstand just now the exclusion, the standard exclusion. We don't cover for the CT scan, MRI, and then the X-ray and the PET scan. Actually, we do cover all this scanning, provided there is a diagnosis found, and then there is a confirmed diagnosis, and that diagnosis subsequent that we cover the admission, and provided there is no fall under the pre-existing or specified illness or the waiting period. So if all the conditions is fulfilled, then that diagnosis, once we are cover the admission, so all these PET scan or the X-ray or the MRI scan, this is necessary to rule out the diagnosis. So we will cover for that. We don't cover the PET scan or the MRI scan provided if the result is normal. So what if the doctor prescribed the patient to do for the MRI scan? But after the scan, the result, what is the result? The report comes out if the condition is something good news. Good news to the patient to congratulate that you don't worry, you are healthy. So everything you are normal. So in that case, your scanning is for under investigation purpose. So this is no diagnosis found. There is no illness. You tak ada penyakit, you are sehat, right? So in that case, the MRI, then you have to pay for it, because there is no diagnosis found and or maybe it's not related to your admitted diagnosis. So as long as the scanning the report is diagnosis found and the diagnosis is covered by the admission, then the MRI scanning is covered.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so any other questions?
Okay, I would like to ask a questions. Just now, in the earlier part, you mentioned about dependence. So dependence means our children. How about our spouse? Is our spouse considered dependent?
Yep, provided that it is a company policy. If the company HR is covered for spouse, the name is given to us and then already included in the policy. So spouse is covered. And then also the child. This is subject to your HR coverage.
Okay, and for the children, then just now you mentioned the age to cover our children will be up to 23 years old if they are full-time students.
Yeah. All right. So if because we cover children maximum is until 23 years old, provided if he's still studying in any university or college as a full-time student. So if that person already start working, so as considered is a individual adult, then we no longer cover. But if it's still full-time student, yes, you can cover in the policy until 23. So when come to the renewal time, he's 24, even though he's still studying in a university, because now there's a lot of the master degree or the PhD. But we're sorry to inform that because he's already the adult, then have to no choice then be an individual. So if individual, if your company not cover, then it's subject to your company, their employee benefit.
Okay. Then second questions will be on the cancer treatments. So it only cover the radiotherapy. How about chemotherapy?
For the cancer treatment, hold on. Yeah, we cover the chemotherapy.
Yeah, we cover
Actually,
the
for
chemo.
yeah, we cover the radiotherapy, chemotherapy. Yes, we cover.
Okay. Okay, thanks.
Yes, any other questions? You can ask in Bahasa Malaysia, 华语, Cantonese, also can. Or anything you are not clear, you can ask also. But first thing I would like to bear in mind that just repeat just now Ms. Tan already mentioned, your policy is subject to 20% co-payment. So this one is very, very important. So your room limit is 120. So in the event if anyone, the members required to admit to a hospital, please take note that you must choose the room is below 120. So if you choose slightly higher, maybe 121 or 122, just slightly 1-2 ringgit difference. So will cost you to pay the 20% the whole bill. So we can't cover 100%. So even though let's say that whatever eligible cost is almost 100%, I'm sorry, we can't cover all. So you have to pay 20%. So 20% maybe will cost a lot. Let's say your bill is 10,000, then you have to pay 2,000. So in that case, even though a slightly difference, the room and board only 1 ringgit, 2 ringgit. And then there is one conditions, sometimes maybe member will say that that hospital, the minimum room and board is 150. There's no room available for 120 and below. So in that case, we also will impose a core payment because this is a policy condition. So in that case, one of the conditions just now we mentioned is before you admit to the hospital. So please take note that you always make sure that hospital there is a room below 120. So for example, definitely you don't for KL one, we don't go to Prince Court. So Prince Court, all these are 5-star, 5-star, 6-star hospital. Definitely, maybe they don't have. I believe they don't have 120 below. No. So please take note. You have to survey the hospital somewhere around your the price, the room and board is within your eligible benefit.
When you refer to this room and board, you said the
Yeah.
amount claimable is 120 per day, right?
Yeah,
so,
correct.
and let's say if any amount more than 120, then it's subject to 20%, meaning we have to pay the 20%. So let's
For
say
the
if
whole
the room
bill.
is full of the whole bill, okay.
Yeah,
So,
whole bill, not only 120 times 20%.
No, I mean, on whole bill, is it inclusive of the treatments?
Yeah, everything.
Everything
Everything
lah.
eligible times 20% will be paid by the members. So this is quite a large amount. That's why we have a lot of the jury and then some maybe some argument because of this 20%. So and then we receive a lot of the cases is the member not really want to admit to the higher room and board. Actually, they want to looking for the below 120 just because the hospital do not have the room below 120, or some hospital with a room and board below 120 is always fully booked, you know. It's very lucky, you know, I say. So for certain hospital, it's always fully booked for the room and board below 120. So in that case, you have to bear in mind. So maybe always to take note that which hospital nearby you have some alternative before you admit to a hospital. Or if really, really no choice, then have to admit to the room and board higher than 120. If the patient need to admit to maybe 3-4 days, so maybe another option is after the first day, you immediately have to inform the nurse or the doctor. Once there is a room available for below 120, immediately switch you back. So in that case, we minimize your cost. This is what if you really admit to a hospital, there is no room available below than you're eligible, and there is no choice for you, you must admit at hospital. So try to reserve with a nurse, and then always put a remark. Once there is room available below 120, immediately change the room. So in that case, the accumulated room and board will be still less than your entitlement. So within your entitlement. Any other questions?
Yeah, I have a question here.
Yeah.
Okay. Just now, earlier have mentioned regarding the emergency case for hospital emergency. So anytime, any limit for this emergency? I mean that how many time can claim?
Actually, we do not limit how many times you claim for the emergency sickness treatment. We only we highlight that is the most important thing is you have to visit within 12 midnight until 6 a.m. in the morning, and then
Yeah.
each visit is 100. But we don't have any limit of how many times you visit to the clinic.
Then what is the sickness cover? Is it high fever included in the coverage?
Actually, we do not specify or highlight what kind of sickness we cover. As long as it's an emergency, there's a sickness you need to seek treatment midnight 12 to 6 in this time period, and then there's you have to visit a 24 hours clinic or the emergency department of hospital. You can be because of a high fever or the viral fever, or maybe some stomach pain or diarrhea. Or vomit in the midnight. So you really suffering, you really feel bad at midnight, then you can go to the nearby 24 hours clinic or the emergency department.
Okay. Okay, understand. Thank you.
Any other questions? So if no other questions, then over to you, Ms. Tan.
Okay. If let's say there's no any other question, then we shall end the meeting. Of course, afterwards, if you have any other question, feel free to drop us an email, or you can check with the HR, then ask the HR to drop us an email. Okay. If let's say no other question, then I shall end the meeting. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Tan.
Thank you. At any time, drop us an email if you have any question. Thank you.